Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukkake, your host. Yeehaw! Our heroes are in Wild West Faerun. Sheriff Quinny was outed as a criminal to his friends. Moss was deeply hurt when she discovered the betrayal, and Butthole successfully negotiated with the dragon Cortexis for their train heist. Can they rob a train and continue their fight against Typhinneas Industries while not trusting each other? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Tomorrow, Tomb Slab will burn. You're on day 2 of your 3-day ultimatum. And it's time to rob a train. You've got a dragon companion, which is great. You've got Cortexis the dragon, who has agreed to help you in exchange for a train car full of gold and a cool bandana, which admittedly is a pretty good deal. That said, beyond that, you haven't really put together much of a plan. You are aware that there will be a train transporting high-grade munitions on the Northwest line, heading, surprise, surprise, northwest. That will be your best bet. It'll be traveling at midday. It's currently the morning. You've woken up after your eventful day. You can refresh your HP and your spells. And now it's time to figure out what your plan of attack will be. The munitions, so you're going for ammunition, but you're also going for weapons. So this is kind of this isn't really a smash and grab kind of deal. It's kind of it's a grab. Take the train, yeah. Secure the train, probably return to close by with the train, offload, etc., or figure out some other way to cart everything away. But based on the routes that you're aware of, easiest plan is probably to just bring the train, either stop it nearby or bring the train back with you to unload it. But that's up to you. You can determine how you want to go about this. I'm curious to hear what your plan is.
Okay, so I have a question for everybody right out the gate here, because I feel like the note said 3 days yesterday. So first question is, on this world, does that mean yesterday is day 1, or is today, when the note arrives, the end of day 1? So like 4 p.m. and then we've got 2 more days.
Why is that definitively determined by the world?
Well, I mean, what do you think that would work? Because I was thinking about it and I was like, well, this could still be 3 days, or we could have
I think today's the second day.
Fuck.
I mean, you say today's the second day, but at the same time, it would be like, okay, let's follow this.
No, do you not? I think we should trust the criminal on this one, because if he says we've got less time, they're going to think like he does.
They say if they're coming in 1 day, then that means they're coming the next day.
Well, I mean, that would be weird.
If they're coming in 2 days, that means they're coming the day after the next day.
If they were going to come the next day.
The day after the next day, the day after the day after the next day.
We're coming in
however,
myself.
It would be we're coming tomorrow. That's how you say 1 day.
Honestly, roll for me too, man. Roll 2d6.
I think it's best if we treat it as though they are coming tomorrow so that we can be prepared, whatever the fuck method they use to count days.
They are coming tomorrow.
I know, Tom. I just wanted to have this fun argument.
I'm aware you did. I just wanted to clarify.
Tom, I'm trying to turn it around to help you out, buddy.
I appreciate that. Currently, Tyler's the only one who has a plan I'm on board with. It involves both of us shooting ourselves. So, mission accomplished, team. You did it.
All right. So, second question. If the DM kills himself, are we immortal?
Find out next week.
Yeah. Immediately level 20. Yes.
Yeah. No. Okay. So, it seems like we got like the train part itself seems to be kind of handled. I'm imagining if we need people to come and like pick up heavy things and bring them back, we've got like the town. Is there anybody around town you'd trust to have a lot of guns? Or we get the dwarfs to do it. They seem pretty reputable as well.
Both would be fine. The townsfolk are going to have to get pretty comfortable with handling guns regardless.
Okay, so why don't we have like a mixed crew of like dwarfs who can help and townsfolk so they'll get used to like hanging out and trusting each other?
Sure. I mean, the dwarves come into town all the time to get supplies and all kinds of things. They're not like a secret civilization living under the town or anything. It's just nobody goes into the mine without business to be in the mine.
Yeah, I mean, I
Also, nobody knew
I
about that
literally
weird church entrance.
I have dwarf legs. No one cares.
Okay, so just the town. I feel like you guys really came down on me for the this will help them trust each other, and not so much on the is this helpful or not.
Sure, yeah, sure.
I'm like I'll be the common villain. This is good. Okay, so we can have them bring carts. Do we want to guess where we'll stop the train by, or can we like back the train up? I don't know much about trains.
Well, sorry, what do you mean you don't know much about trains? Is this like a dimension thing where we got lucky and we got trains and you don't, or what?
I have horses and carts, and there's castles and dragons and wizards. So I'm imagining, based on what I've seen of other worlds, I'm an old-timey fantasy version of your world.
Sure. So
we don't have guns.
Trains are steam-powered locomotives on rails.
Okay.
They're limited to forward and backward on the rails that they're on.
Right.
They are pulled by the front engine. Everything else is just a car attached to it.
Okay.
In those cars will be gold and guns and bullets and a lot of hired guards.
Great.
And they take a long time to slow down.
Okay,
And
so
speed up.
So when we take over the train, do we want to send all the carts to take the guns up ahead and go, we'll stop by the time we get there? Or do we just want to take over the train and then just like back it up to like, there's the parking lot, there's the carts?
Having the engine would probably suit our needs best on a case-by-case basis. That way we can go forward or backward, quickly or slowly.
So we're not going to blow up the track.
We can blow up the track afterwards.
I want to just put
Fair.
pause on this whole conversation. I thought we were taking over the train. I'm literally asking, where do we put the carts for delivery? Where we start or further down? That's the only question I've had.
Whatever's closest to the town.
Do you know what? I like that the two of you distrust me so much that it's brought you back together.
I like that you think that's what's happening.
I'll take my wins. Okay, so they'll go there. The dragon will drop us on the train where he can. We kill everybody on the train, real easy. Bam, bam, you work for the bad guy, you're dead. Then we park it and we offload the stuff. The dragon's going to take a cart full of gold, so I guess we'll put all the gold on one cart for him to carry away from the train or whatever. A car? Car? Did they put the T on the end of car?
No, they're cars.
Oh, man, this is going to be
but
confusing.
we should bring carts to cart away what we need from the cars.
Yes,
we'll leave that to be organized by the townsfolk and the dwarves.
Yes.
Who
Who
run a
already
whole
trust
mining
each other.
operation. They'll be great at moving stuff around.
Okay, good. So they'll do that, and they'll put the carts just wherever is the easiest for offloading because we'll drive it to them. And we're going to use the dragon, and then on the train, I guess I'll hit them with my new hammer because I'm getting that, and you guys will use guns?
I plan to use guns, yes.
I'll use guns and my maul.
Great. So I think we kind of have a plan. A lot of this is going to have to be kind of riffed, but I don't think we know that much about this train other than obviously it's powered the way it is, etc.
Yeah, my main concern is the overwhelming amount of guards that will be present on this train. It's the reason why it was a suicide run and why I thought we were hiring other people to kind of die for us when we get it. But we're not doing that. We're being dropped onto a train by a dragon.
Yeah, but the dragon's going to have to like hang out and help until he's got all his gold.
All right. Well, I mean,
unless they have one
I
car
won't
made of
look a
solid
gift dragon
gold.
in the mouth
If
because
we have
that's just dangerous.
If there's
They
one
bring
car full of-
fire out of that. Where, I don't know how dragons work where you're from.
Okay. What do you want to do about all the murderers?
Let the dragon deal with them would be ideal. I mean, if we say he's sticking around to help, that dragon's going to be hopefully a formidable foe and draw a lot of attention away from us.
Yeah, I mean, my only concern is from what we've seen, he seems to do a lot of like, I would like a poncho, my son does the work. And I don't know how great he's going to be at fire. Also, fire sets off bullets, right?
Depending on how it's stored, yeah.
Okay. So there's the plan. It's not very good, but it's what
No.
we have.
So
No, it's
plan
not.
is carts nearby, like closer to town than to the train. Dwarves and townspeople will operate the carts. You will take Cortexis in, airdrop off Cortexis onto the train, kill everyone inside, hopefully with the aid of the dragon, if he sees fit to do so, and or if you're sure that he won't blow up all the bullets. Once you've secured the car, secure the train, Cortexis gets his car, you drive back to the carts, load the carts up, come back to town. Is that correct?
We've got dynamite to blow up the tracks after the fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To cover your escape?
Yeah.
And we could probably just crank that engine in reverse, just max speed, and just let it go hammer whatever train's waiting behind it, right? This is all
It's not a
freight.
bad idea.
They don't send people out here, right? Because I don't want to do that if we're just going to hit like a passenger car.
I mean,
Well,
as I refer to my notes, because I can't keep it in my fucking head, the
Typhinneas.
Typhinneas Industries, they're into everything. So might be
Okay, then
just
we'll
a
send.
locomotive transporting people.
I mean, it doesn't bother Quinny the terrorist, but possibly Moss and or Butthole.
yeah, it's a bit of a concern, honestly.
Okay, what I think we could do is send it back moving very slowly and just leave the horn on. Because I'm sure they've got a horn on it so that people hear it coming. Then it'll hit something in the station, but it'll have been evacuated or whatever, right?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
And with that, you have your plan. Are there any other preparations you want to make in town before you go?
Butthole would like to check out that weird teleport rune. And he would like to have a quick question like with Garvo. And then he's got a third thing, but it depends on how Garvo goes.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I should just check on my last will and testament.
Quinny maintaining the charade of being a sheriff is going to instruct the townsfolk on the plan.
Great.
I should accompany.
Yeah, I was going to
Quinny.
say, you watch.
I don't want him out of my sight.
You watch with a sense of frustration and
Yeah.
disappointment as the townsfolk, like glowing-eyed, watch Quinny kind of give out orders. You can see the trust and belief they have in this fraud, and it somewhat turns your stomach. Do you intercede at all, or do you just let him? It does seem to be going very well.
I'm just gonna let him talk.
Okay.
I don't want to draw any attention to the fact that anything is different than what they expect.
Quinny, I'm trying to figure out what check to get you to roll for their prep. You're basically, I would say probably persuasion would likely be what we're doing. That said, or deception. I would let you use your standard Quinny stats for that though, rather than your altered.
Oh,
So brilliant liar, Quinny.
Yeah, just because I feel like convincing a large group of people to do something you want them to do is well within this Quinny's wheelhouse.
all right. Let me increase the zoom on this so I can actually see what that is on the character sheet.
And they've got so much belief in you as sheriff already.
All right,
This
well,
is a roll with plus 11 on the regular Quinny sheet
Don't
as opposed to
You said that
double
open.
proficiency.
on deception. Yeah,
This is going to be a 13.
God damn.
it's going to be a 27.
Oh, thank you.
Moss, you your mouth draws into a fine line as the mother and daughter who recently arrived in town on your request are like, "Oh wow, I tell you that Quinny, he's a true hero. I thought that lady who helped us fix our cart was the coolest person we'd meet, but this guy really gets it. Fuck, he's cool."
Do I hear any of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just like, now, Deputy Moss here was the one who saved you, and she deserves all the credit.
Yeah, but you're gonna save all of us. All she
We're
did was
all
save
gonna
two idiots with a cart.
Hey, hold on a second here. And I like bring the mood down for a second. Like, we're going to save ourselves.
That's the thing a true hero would say. Bless you, sir. And she just throws her arms around you. And the kid goes, yeah. Moss, this all happens.
I honestly just kind of do like staring at Quinny out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah, I figured.
That's all it is. It's
He
just
shrugs at you. Like,
You're
well,
not gonna break up the
tried.
birthday party.
no.
All right, Ryan, you arrive outside of Jim Jim's to find the door wide open and no sign of Jim. But you take a cursory look at the thing on the ground. Can you roll me an insight, please? Or Arcana. But it's probably insight.
Yeah, we'll go with insight. 23.
Okay.
Yeah, he runs. He like touches the ground and tastes it, and then he just like looks at it for a second, farts, breathes in the fart, farts, breathes in the fart. Looks at his armor for a bit as though that'll help him solve the mystery, and then like kneels down, like covers his eyes and opens them again. Then he does like peekaboo hands where you do the little scissors that open to look, and he's like, "All right, I think I got it. What does he got, Tom?"
So it's definitely it seems like warlock magic, pact magic. Definitely teleported away somewhere else. That is interesting though, because till now no one's confirmed for you that warlocks are a thing here.
Yeah, that's big.
But in addition to making you aware that magic might be a thing, it also suggests the existence of patrons.
That's
which is
straight up angels, demons, gods shit.
Yep. So perhaps what the folks kind of out here believe, and what people in kind of the secret annals of power believe, might be different. Likely warlock linked in some way, shape, or form. Beyond that, not a whole hell of a lot you can tell from it.
A weird thing. Can I tell or guess if this was drawn to allow him to escape, or he just disappeared and it popped up? Like, do I know that about warlocks?
This was a consequence of the ability. He didn't draw it. He just, like, as he disappeared, this was the mark it left.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to kidnap this guy. This guy's going to be one where you just got to shoot him.
So with that in mind, if you were to venture a guess, he would still need to be located somewhere. Teleport isn't like... And keeping in mind that this is a modified version of this spell, because it isn't exactly how it works normally. If you were to place a bet, he's likely in Clearwater, which is the Typhinneas compound, basically, that's being built.
Yeah.
If you were to venture a guess, that'd be the closest base of operations. And based on what you kind of know of douchebags in your generation and your dimension, this is the kind of... You need an operating base somewhere nearby.
Okay. Yeah, that all checks out. Cool. Okay. Then, he'd want to go talk to Garvo.
All right. What do you got for Garvo?
Garvo, this is a weird moment. He just, like, walks into the church because I feel like Butthole's not great at, like, introductions and pleasantries. He just kind of cuts to a lot of his conversations without context. So that dream you had, you said there was, like, a small hero. Was it the sheriff, now that you've met him? Was that the guy where you were like, that's the one hero standing against the darkness?
I mean, it's always hard to tell with dreams, but I think so.
Okay, but could it have been Moss, or was it the sheriff?
No, it was the sheriff.
Okay, you seem like a guy who writes a lot of things down and learns things. I need you to help me sort out a contract here. And basically, Butthole would like to take a moment with Garvo to write out an ownership contract where people in town can sign over their land legally to Quinny. So he could essentially hold it in trust for the town. And in the case of his death, it would go to like the Rock Seeker sisters or whatever. Because then he can reapproach the group wherever they're standing. So thanks, Garvo. Just gonna leave him there.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so found both of you. Wow, that lady really gave you a hug. Okay, so I've got this contract because I realized one of our problems, and you pointed this out, Quinny, is that if everybody signs away their property, then we're all going to go to jail because the bad guys win, because it's like a technicality. So I think we should do a technicality, which is the people who still own their land, because they clearly trust you, sign over all their land to you so that when we leave today, they won't all get blackmailed.
And what happens in the event of my death?
We give it to the Rock Seeker sisters. They seem like they're the least corruptible.
What happens in the event of Quinny here committing another crime?
Well, he's like robbing the train. That's good. That's part of the plan.
I don't know. Or taking these people's land?
He's not going to do that. Garvo had a dream.
I'm sorry. Garvo had a dream?
Garvo had a dream.
You're willing to gamble these people's livelihoods.
Look in that perfect line of dreams and contract law.
Listen, all I'm saying is you didn't trust that I believed in a goddess and that I found Garvo and then I found the armor and I found out my god has a twin. This is a pretty good deal. Everything's gone right so far, so I'm pretty sure it can't go wrong. I believe that Quinny is a good person, and every Quinny is a good person deep down inside. They just want to be crap people on their own, and then you help them, and they turn out to be heroes, like in Garvo's dream. But if we don't trust Quinny, then he's going to, become whoever he is.
My Quinny wasn't a terrorist. This one is. This one needs a butthole, so he needs some responsibility.
I'm sorry. Does he not have a butthole?
Well, he needs a second butthole.
Talking about you.
Yeah, I'm butthole.
This is...
Yeah, I didn't get into the minutia of all my crimes, but some of the charges laid against me would necessitate me having a butthole. So yes, I do.
So here's the thing.
Or minor transgressions.
And I understand your concerns, Moss. I do, which is why I went to double check with Garvo that it was Quinny who was the hero. But the other thing is, I don't think there's anyone that this town would trust except for Sheriff Quinny. Because if we tried to get them to sign over to you, they would say, why aren't we doing this with Sheriff Quinny? And then you would have to say, because he's a criminal. And then our resistance would fall apart and they all go into the terrible corporate camp and everyone loses and evil wins.
Find out how everyone feels about the Rockseeker sisters getting ownership in the event of my death. And if they're fine with it, I'll go along with this.
Okay, excuse me, new woman with child. How would you feel? A lot of people are getting blackmailed about signing your property over to Sheriff Quinny, because then he'll protect it for you. And if anybody has to blackmail somebody, they'll go after him because he's all big and strong. And then if he dies, we'll do the Rockseeker sisters because they're like in a mine, so they're most safe.
Wait, Quinny's gonna die? We should get out of here.
No. He's so strong, he's never going to die. That's why he's going to keep your stuff safe.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't actually have any property here. I just arrived. But I'll sign my cart up for the cause.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Hello, next door. Like he just kind of goes around knocking on doors to see what signatures he can get.
Sure. So you get a few. That said, you are surprised to find how few people are around. It would seem that over the course of the evening, several people fled town. So
Okay.
we're down to the bare minimum.
All right. So I'll come back to them and be like, all right, so everybody who's here is signed. Most people ran away. And I promised a few of them that you could never die, Quinny. So you're going to have to live up to that one because they got real scared.
Sure. I'm a man of my word.
Okay.
Lies
so
on top of lies on top of lies. I don't like this.
Well, are you going to let him die?
Not if I can help it.
Yeah, and the last time Quinny died, I went to hell and shoved him into a Frankenstein monster that I made. So I'll do it again if I have to. We're going to protect this contract. So here you go, Quinny.
God, were you brought into my life by some kind of curse or evil
you know what?
karma against me?
That's what the other Quinny said. Okay, so yeah, just put this there. You got to protect this contract because that's what's keeping all of us from on the right side of the law.
All right, I'll take it and I'll take it into the sheriff's office and put it in like the sheriff's like lockbox, like the
Cool, great
little safe that's in there.
So with that, there is a sort of dark shadow that passes over the town, and you hear the flapping of leathery wings as Cortexis lands at the edge of town, and he kind of like chokes as he does so, gags, and then with kind of a one of those like awful like cat trying to spit up a fur ball noises, like a he does that a few times, and then he spits out a hammer that plows into the dirt. It is a very ornate, if slightly smaller head than what you're kind of used to swinging, Ryan. But gold, like think very much a Warhammer Fantasy dwarf thing. So it's like very kind of like rounded in a lot of ways, almost more like a croquet mallet, not in terms of its shape, but like, you know, a tight-headed hammer, not like a big fucking like sledgehammer like you're used to. And inlaid on sort of one head of the hammer is a smaller gilt gold hammer. The whole thing is gold, but on the other side is an inlay of a sickle. So it is very much a hammer and sickle weapon, despite being a double-headed hammer.
Nice. I will call it the hammer and sickle. Just it'll be like in small parentheses right afterwards to have it included.
Sure. And on the bottom of it, there is a spike. So like hammer on sort of the top of it on either side, and then at the bottom of the haft there's a spike. You get the sense as you pick it up, you realize there's a little twisty bit at the bottom that telescopes it in and out.
Nice. And is it two-handed or a single-handed weapon? Just for my brain, Tom.
Yeah, it's two-handed.
Cool.
Again, I guess it's hard to describe how these things look, but it's meant to be a little smaller and more dexterous than kind of the because I mean you've basically been carrying around like a concrete block on the end of a stick.
Yeah.
This is more of a nuanced weapon. Which means it'll feel a little bit light in your hands.
But it's classier, yeah.
But it's classier, and honestly, it's the kind of thing that like an honor guard could easily, or statue could easily carry, and it would look dope, as opposed to like, I'm here to fucking kill you. This is my warhammer.
Cool. Okay.
So it is a 1d8 weapon.
If it's like a traditional Warhammer, would it be 1d10 if wielded two-handed?
That is correct.
Dope. Great. And is it 1d8 clean, or would I add the +3 from like my other?
You'd add the +3.
Cool.
Yep.
Dope.
And the Cortexis kind of like runs its tongue around the inside of his mouth and does that thing where you're trying to get like that one popcorn kernel that just fucking won't get out. And then kind of nods to himself, and then spits another thing into the dirt at your feet. And it is a very ornate 4-barreled pistol. And he says, I appreciate that where you're from, you use sticks and things, but here we like to class it up a little bit. So it's one of those weird guns, kind of the curled, rounded grip.
Okay.
And it's just 4 barrels that have been kind of fused together. It's you have to manually crank it each time to load it up. But basically, you can load it with 4 shots. You only get 4 shots. Each barrel is its own shot. In an emergency, you can hammer fire 2 at the same time, but you only have the 4 bullets.
Okay, so 4 bullets total. Once I shoot them all, I could toss the gun kind of thing?
Yep.
Cool.
Unless you find more bullets, but it doesn't take the same munitions as what the rest of the team has. But realistically, as someone who doesn't use guns too much, it's more like think of it as essentially a flintlock pistol, but you get 4 shots with it.
Cool.
Or in an emergency, you can fire it twice at the same time. And it is a D8 weapon as well.
D8 plus anything, or just D8?
What is your dex?
+1?
So it'll be D8 +1.
Great. And that would be plus what? +1 to hit, +4 is my proficiency 3? I don't know.
You don't have proficiency with this weapon, so it would just be your dex. So +1 to hit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
And
not
then
a gun
I'll give him
guy, but at least you have one.
I'll give him his pin and his poncho to be a bandana as a criminal.
And he's like, I look dope.
Honestly, you do.
But it's like flapping through a poncho, being like, oh, no.
No one's going to know who you are.
Oh, they'll know I'm the friend they thought they'd have.
Yeah, Cortexis, the friend they thought they had. Okay, so we just climb on your back? Is that the system? Or how do you want to do this?
He sighs and he's like, yes. And he like makes a ramp of his wings so Mossy can wheel up and then strap.
Awesome.
The nice thing about the combat wheelchair is it's fully collapsible. So once you're on board, you can just like fold it up and sling it over your back with the rest of your gear.
I'm also not carrying like my full gear.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Me. I'm
you're not going to bring
nimble.
like a fucking like bedroll just in case?
Yeah, exactly.
What if I get sleepy?
3 days worth of food.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give my hat to Goblin Jr. And I'm gonna get a bandana for myself to tie around my face. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Butthole, given how much you love giving people uniforms, does it bother you that Quinny doesn't have a hood?
Technically, I don't anymore either. I just have a hat. But now he doesn't have a hat. And does Moss have a hat?
Yeah, you're actually going to want to get rid of your hats. This isn't my first time attacking a train from the air. You just end up losing your hat.
I'm pretty sure I don't have a hat.
All right, well then I'll take
Unless
my
I
hat
said
off.
I had a hat.
You didn't say you had a hat.
In which case I no longer
have
have a hat.
juniper hair, which is your hat.
Yeah.
Moss, do you need like a mask or something so people don't know you robbed a train? I guess we're killing everyone. I don't know. Somebody might have a take your kid to work day, so we should probably hide your face.
What?
Just
what are you saying?
Put a mask on.
He's saying you should cover your face because you're deputy of Tombstone.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And of course, I have like a handkerchief.
Yeah. Or I was going to say, is it something you've knit with your knitting hand? Is it a Mrs. Paisley like knit handkerchief, or is it just like a classic Western handkerchief?
I think it's just classic, honestly.
I do love the idea of the Mrs. Paisley hand working with the troll hand.
Yeah. Well, it's like that's the reason. Like she's right-handed, so that one's the more dexterous one. The left hand is the clunky one. It just holds shit, kind of like how Laura Crossstitch is.
And I'll just make sure to yell that I'm Red Reggie a couple of times. Then we'll be fine.
Great. So with that, you climb aboard the back of Cortexis, and with a couple blasts of his wings, the people of Tombslab cheer as you take to the air. My God, is it majestic flying on a dragon? Quinny, you've assaulted vehicles from gliders before, so this isn't entirely new for you. But for the rest of you, I mean, Ryan, you've been in airships, so this also isn't new for you. Moss, this is fucking dope. What a rad thing to be happening. And
I'm loving every second of this.
The most like Juniper experience you've had so far, of just like a moment of transcendent wonder at the beauty of nature.
Glee, exhilaration.
Yeah, Butthole likes Goblin Jr., but he's kind of sure he needs to get a dragon at some point, like as a friend, but for riding, because this is way better than charging in either while yelling or on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you soar up into the air, and you can see Old West Faerun stretching out beneath you, sort of the rolling plains and some low-level grasslands, snow-capped mountains. You can see the train line, sort of both a sign of tremendous prosperity to come, but also in a lot of ways a metallic scar across the landscape. In the distance, you can see Clearwater, sort of along the coast, a massive construction site, like any corner of the city of Toronto at any time of the day, season, or year. Just a bunch of stuff being built by corporations that likely no one will live in. You feel the air rushing past you. It's actually a bit of a relief after trudging into the Underdark. Is there anything you discuss on the way?
All right, so Quinny, after this heist, we'll probably send you and I guess Goblin Jr. to go dynamite as far back as you can before somebody comes out to stop you, or how do we want to do that?
Goblin Jr. ain't coming along for this. What I'll likely do is I'll rig up the locomotive with the dynamite so that it blows along with the section of the track. I've done this before. Like more and more of Quinny's extremely dark criminal history comes out with every crime.
Okay. Other than that, like, you guys were kind of tense last night, and we're going into one of those life and death situations, and I know there's still like some trust issues and some betrayal of trust issues. Like, this might be a good time to talk some stuff out.
You think this is a good time to talk it out? To get emotional right before we have to be logical?
Considering how upset you are right now, it seems like you're emotional to begin with, and I'm hoping we can bring that down to like a simmer.
Oh, I'm riding a fine line. Talking about it is not going to help.
Everyone says that, and then it gets worse, and we're going to have a weird talk in the middle of a fight, and it's not going to make sense, but I'm willing to let it happen.
Nope.
Just
Quinny
so you know,
lied. He lied to everyone. I don't know how many people he's killed. I don't know how many people he's going to kill after we let him go, but I can't very well tell the town who he is. It's going to fucking tear them apart. They've been through enough.
Would you feel better if we all went in a circle and said how many people we've killed?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, you go first, Moss, because I need to do some counting.
Okay. I have killed 4 people, each time in self-defense.
Cortexis chuckles. He's like, sweet summer child.
Am I next?
Why don't you go? Why don't? Oh yeah. Do you know what? You go next, and then I'll be a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Definitely not
expected.
Definitely, I mean, there's a good amount of self-defense in there, but also a lot of premeditated. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, I killed a gang of goblins, a tribe of orcs, an entire pirate fleet. I went to war with my parents. I destroyed a building in the future. I took over the entire city of Neverwinter by force against mercenaries. So I don't know how many people died. Then I sort of blew up the future. So thousands.
You'd have made a good outlaw.
If we're including stuff that I'm technically was in charge of at the time, I mean, I would not be surprised if I don't clear six figures.
You'd have made a real good outlaw.
I just start choking as like a bug flies into my like open mouth.
As you start choking, Cortexis just says, "That's why you wear a bandana." oh, there's a hole in this bandana. Ponchos suck.
So, see, if we look at judging how good people are based on how many people have died because of them, apparently Quinny is the second best person on this ride. And I am not a criminal at all. I'm a prince, and then a king, and a cleric.
Your world is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, this one's not exactly fucking cupcakes either.
Hey, are you just gonna...
how has this helped? Has this helped? Do you feel better? I don't feel better. I feel worse, actually.
Okay, well, I mean, I feel better. I feel like if Quinny topped me, I would have been worried. But I feel like he's made dark choices in a dark world. However, he's been a pretty fucking good sheriff from everything you said for a long time since he's been here. How many people have you murdered since you were sheriff that were against the law? Did you do any sheriff murders?
Yes.
Fuck, I was really hoping that was... Okay, now, I have no follow-up questions. Let's rob a train. This is getting worse. Show me the train. He just yells at the clouds.
You hear a whistle as though a divine entity is, keeping control of the plot. And Cortexis is like, well, that's a gimme. And begins the descent. All of you hold on for dear life as the mighty dragon descends out of the clouds. Shooting across the plains at a high speed is an armored train, painted a sort of a brilliant sky blue, and sort of gilt with gold, stamped with the Typhinneas Industries logo. You can see people crouched kind of on the top of the train cars themselves. It's actually not that big a train. It's got the engine. It seems to have 3 cars and a caboose that is sort of heavily armed. You can definitely see there's a mounted weapon back there of some sort. And you can see guns kind of sticking out of most of the cars. Cortexis says, You signal me once you've determined which car holds the gold bullion, and I will take that one and leave the rest to you.
We're going to need you to harry and harass these gunfighters so we can find that car for you.
Oh, yes, I assumed as much. Honestly, I wouldn't have covered my face if I wasn't going to do some murder.
Right.
I'm thinking you might want to drop us on the ass end of this thing so we can take out that big gun so it doesn't shoot you.
Sold.
Quick personal question. You breathe fire, ice, what is it?
Depends on my mood. I was thinking of going with noxious fumes today to make sure I don't destroy your precious bullets.
Sure. Think noxious thoughts. I like it.
That's great.
I listened to your whole entirely mentally unhealthy conversation, so yeah, I'm in a pretty noxious mood. Let's roll. And he yells, I've always wanted to yell this. I'm an outlaw, and I'm coming to steal your stuff. And with that, the mighty dragon dive bombs the train. I need all of you to please roll me an athletics or acrobatics check as you leap off of Cortexis's back. I assume for you, Moss, it's kind of like he flips. He's basically like doing a barrel roll in as
you can believe me that like as I'm flying through the air, I can like pull out my chair get myself in.
Yeah, exactly.
Very adept with this
So
shit.
you
Well, I mean-
launch yourself off, and the three of you begin to plummet.
I was gonna say we believe that you can, but let's see if the dice tell us you do.
I rolled a 15.
The dice say you do.
I rolled a 7.
Yay!
I rolled a 2 for athletics.
All right. Moss, you hit wheels down. It's a hard landing, but you kind of braced for it. You see Cortexis swoop over top of you as this happens and begin to just engulf the top of the cars with fumes that you can smell even back here. It smells like burning tar, just a truly disgusting, overwhelmingly bad smell. That said, both Butthole and Quinny fail their jumps and bounce off the top of the car and begin rolling towards the back. You probably have time to save one. What do you do?
We save one? Well, shit.
Our kill counts might change your mind now. You might have screwed yourself, Butthole.
We're gonna see. This is all Snap her decision, but yes.
I think okay, Snap decision. I think Butthole's more of the warrior, so I'm gonna have to go for him.
So you grab Butthole. It's one of those classic, like, you reach out with your troll arm, grab him by the forearm. Butthole, you're now safe, but you see Quinny just kind of like bouncing down off this. You realize that this Quinny is not nearly acrobatic as your Quinny. But that shouldn't affect his ability to smooch. He is about to careen off the back. You can try and save him and put yourself at risk, or you can accept Moss's help and hope that Quinny finds a way to hang on.
Here's the thing. I'm not terribly athletic either. And
I got
worse at dexterous.
I got something in the chamber. If
I think what he would do is just yell like Moonhammer, Moonhammer on you. He would just like extend his hand and just like fart a ghost of energy out of his hand towards Quinny. So
Moonhammer on you.
I'm going to use an Inspire Faith. So Tyler, you can add an additional D8 on your next ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay, thank you.
Which brings us to Quinny.
I would like to try and get my lasso around the neck of the gunner and just hang on by his
Amazing.
neck.
All right. Go ahead and throw that lasso.
Yikes.
And you may add 1d8.
So that's 10 on the dice. What's my modifier for this? What attribute am I using?
What do you normally? We'll say your ranged attack for this. So whatever you use for the pistol.
Okay, so another 4, so that's 14.
Did you add the d8?
I did. Yeah, I rolled low.
His AC is 13, so you're good, baby.
Sweet.
All right, so you get the lasso around his neck. And now we're in a classic guy getting pulled behind a train sequence. So you get the lasso, you hit the ground, and you're now being dragged behind the train, bumpily along the slats. You take 3 points of damage just out of the gate, and that will repeat each round. That said, the gunner is now slammed against the gun. The gun is firing, like he's still cranking it, but it's just spraying kind of all willy-nilly because he's...
Have I done any damage to him since my body weight is now pressing against his windpipe? Transferred via the lasso.
He is, for all intents and purposes, dead unless someone gets that lasso off real quick.
Okay.
Because he is being compressed against the back of the gun and choking.
Yikes.
Okay.
Yep. So he is mostly out of commission. The train is now, it looks a bit like a Dementor because of the noxious smoke just billowing off of it from Cortexis. And you just hear from the sky, like, anytime now. Butthole, you're pulled up alongside Moss. The two of you are on top of the train. Quinny, time to try and crawl up there, dude. So go ahead with a Probably
strength.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a strength save.
So that's a save. So that's 9.
9. All right. So you're gonna take 6 points of damage, but you manage to crawl up onto the back of the car, doing that classic Assassin's Creed thing of just like bashing the gunner's head off the back and then tossing him. He lets out a Wilhelm scream as he falls off the back of the train. But you are now on the caboose.
Great. Can I take? I'm sorry, we didn't establish this, but who's holding the dynamite?
It's you.
Great. Can I take 1 stick of dynamite off of the bundle and just light it and drop that down the gunner's hole on the caboose?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great.
So inside you hear, "Hey, no smoking!" And then there's an explosion, and it's that
I
classic
just want to like jump off the caboose to the next car.
Yeah, it's that classic like thump, and the entire thing, like the walls crank out, and the different smoke billows out. But yeah, you get the sense that caboose is right fucked.
Great.
Scratch one caboose.
Yeah, so the three of you are now on top of, we'll say there are, Jesus, I should have actually drawn this out.
3 cars.
You said 3 cars in between that.
Yeah, so there's so there's the engine, there's 3 cars, and there's the caboose. The caboose is toast. I assume you want to uncouple that?
Technically, we want to reverse, so no, we'll just let it slow the train down because we have to rehook it later.
Yep, makes sense. All right, so you are
Reverse
on.
the engine?
You can reverse the engine. Yep.
The engine pushes it.
Yes,
I understand, but if we uncouple it, then we're just colliding with it further back on the tracks.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want to do that because then we could all die.
Yeah. So you're on car 3 currently. One of these 3 cars is the money car. At least 1, possibly 2, are ammunition. The people on top of the train are toast, but Cortexis is pulling back, clearly out of juice, and is standing by for your signal. There are definitely people inside the cars. What do you do?
Okay, who's the sneakiest of us? Quinny, I'm thinking you're probably the sneakiest.
I might be. Sneaking's not really my forte anymore these days.
All right, well, here. And he'll just like take the lasso and tie it around Quinny's waist and be like, we'll lower you to the window. You see if there's people. If it's gold, let us know. If it's guns, let us know. And you can still hold guns to shoot them. There's 2 of us, so we shouldn't drop you. Also, you're looking great. Totally love you, buddy. And he opens his mouth and just manages to fart out of his mouth. And it just puts some health around you. And you get 1d4 plus 3. Which is
God, just
you get
like
6 temporary health points. Heal you with the power of Moonhammer.
Temporary.
Yeah.
the image in my mind of like the anatomy of how that works is making me gag.
Yeah,
Welcome
again,
back, Butthole
it's Quinny just waving like, stop doing that.
Yeah,
that
you say
can't be
that.
the
How
only
does-
delivery system for your divine healing.
Well, do you feel better?
That was a real cough. Excuse me, sorry.
Method.
Just lower me down like Quinny won't admit it. Just lower me down the damn car.
Yeah, and then I think Butthole will like hand the other end of it to Moss and we'll start lowering down.
Yeah.
I look down at Moss and go, it helped. He's always angry when it helps.
And I've got my brakes set and kind of like acting as an anchor.
Awesome. Quinny, you're lowered down, and inside you can see like it's one of those like classic people on the train, like they've got their rifles ready, and then there's just a full halfling being lowered. And in classic stormtrooper fashion, you just hear, there he is, shoot him. And 2 of them will open fire on you. What is your AC?
I'm going to use duck and cover, so it's going to be 14.
All right, I got a 3 and a 7, so you are good. Their shots go wide, but inside you can definitely see what like you almost start salivating as you can see how many gold racks, like just racks and racks of gold bars there are.
I shout, pull me up.
We'll do so, I imagine.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, start reading on it.
So the 2 of you pull them up, and you hear a door swing open at the back of the car, and soldiers start to spill out. I assume you signal to Cortex.
Yeah, what was in there?
Yeah.
The gold?
Yeah, there's gold. Let's uncouple from the front. Cortexis can take this one and the caboose attached to it off the tracks for us.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just do that. We'll follow him, jump to the next car, and then I guess I'll jump down because I can probably do it the most easily to try to unhook him if it's going to be a strength.
That sounds good. And I can.
You're gonna get shot.
I will
Just
fire.
FYI.
I'm using my mounted pistol to fire at the people.
Pick off the
approaching.
people climbing up. All right, great. So Ryan, as you drop, as seems to be your lot in this world, you get hit by buckshot. What's your AC?
17 if I include duck and cover, and I definitely know the shot's coming as a reaction.
I rolled an 18 plus stuff, so that is a 21.
That'll hit.
Yep, I thought it might. Oof. That is 17 points of damage as you just take it from both barrels at point blank range. Good news is it's one of those double-barreled shotguns that like Elmer Fudd uses. So the orc they're all dressed in like obnoxiously like hotel like hotel bellhop outfits, but clearly like stretched over like armor and straps and that sort of thing. So he just blasts you, but like with the Typhinneas Industries logo on it, blasts you with a shotgun and is like, fucking stupid outfits, so hard to find ammo, god damn it. And he's trying to load the shotgun again. Ryan, you have a chance to either attack him or to uncouple the car. What do you do?
Uncoupled. We'll let that guy go for a ride. So I think it's like he squats down and then he's using all of the muscles he uses to fart and poop to lift himself up, and he's just going, Moon Hammer! And then I'm going to also give myself a little bit of faith on this one. So let's see what happens. If this is athletics, that will be a 19.
Yeah, man, that'll do. So as that's happening, a human and an elf in the bellhop costumes are rushing along the top of the car towards you with pistol in hand, one hand, saber in the other. Moss, do you shoot the elf or the human?
Is there any difference in like their weaponry?
Yeah, we'll say
their readiness. Do I see any distinguishing features that would speak to their skill level?
Fair enough. We'll say the human is carrying a sort of like a classic revolver and a knife. So better gun, worse sword. The elf is carrying a derringer, so a smaller pistol, and a saber. So more dangerous. Basically, one's a close combat fighter, one's a distance fighter.
Well, then I'm gonna want to take out the elf first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Don't worry, Ryan. I
was thinking of something else, but don't worry about it. We're good.
All right. Great. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you're right, Moss. There's no wrong answers in this situation.
That is 20 total to hit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. And that will do not the best. 7 piercing damage.
Great. So the elf is running and you just gut shot him, and he just kind of like cranks over and still alive, but like in tremendous pain, kind of on the ground. And
I call it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to kill you, but I'm saving our town.
Fair enough. All right. So
from below, she just hears, I'm Red Reggie.
All right. So the other one leaps onto your car. You shot the elf
with the saber.
Saber. Great. Yeah. So, well, in that case, he won't jump because he's a pistol guy. He sees that and he's like, jeez. So he's going to snap off a quick pistol shot at you. What's your AC right now, Moss?
My AC is 14.
14. I rolled a crit fail on the revolver. So he goes to fire and it jams. And he goes, I forgot to clean my gun again. At which point the pin is pulled and the car begins to drift back. Quinny, you're I assume signaling to Cortexis. How would you do that?
Just waving 2 big arms and then gesturing almost like like landing crew style, like on the landing strip of like, that's the one, both hands
Great.
Dramatically gesturing to the car.
Cortexis yells, "I'm Red Reggie," and then swoops in and just like knocks the train, the gold car and the caboose off the track, and it kind of rolls and spirals off the track. The supposed mercy fight you're just having, Moss, ends with two splattered people as the train rolls over them.
Oh.
And then Cortexis kind of grabs the cars, rips them apart, takes the one he wants. And as he flaps up and away, he's like, "Ha ha! Ha ha! I robbed a train!" And he flies off into the distance. So it's down to the three of you. You are on car number 2. Car number 3 and the caboose are gone. Presumably there are weapons in both of these cars, and then you have to seize the engine. That said, there is what sounds like an air raid siren blasting now from all the cars, sort of echoing out over the plains.
Oh dear.
I think Butthole just
can we shut that off?
Like pull himself back up onto the roof and be like, I ain't getting shot. I'll cast Cure Wounds on myself and be like, should we go to the engine to shut off the alarm?
I think it would be
whatever?
prudent to stop this. Yes. And I'd basically just start like moving and propelling myself forwards as fast as I can towards the front.
Okay.
I'll follow. Injured, but following.
Great. Quinny, how are you feeling about the people who are in these cars? Are they too much of a threat, or are you okay with them being there?
I'll hang back, actually. If they want to run to the front, I'll hang back so that if anyone comes up behind them, I can shoot them. Okay. I'm going to stay on car number 2 and just see if anybody comes out.
Okay, great. So kind of holding the fort.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Moss, you and Butthole start making your way towards the front of the train. Soldiers start to like crawl up the sides of the cars. You've got four enemies on car 1, and Tyler, you've got 3 coming up the back of car 2.
Is there any chance any of them that are like ahead of me, if I can like veer over and try to crush their fingers with my wheels rolling by?
Yeah, there totally is. I'm going to make you roll to keep control of the chairs you roll through. The worst thing that could happen is if you get that close to the lip and then lose control and flip over. But you could conceivably knock a bunch of these guys off.
Because I'd rather just not fight them.
This is a sound
at
plan.
all.
I was gonna say, I'll follow behind her to hit whoever she misses with a hammer.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll for initiative, please.
6.
5.
18.
This feels right.
All right, Quinny, you're up first. You can see Moss kind of like really move into like anyone, if you've ever seen particularly like the Special Olympics, anyone race in a chair, where it's just that like fully aerodynamic like speed blast as she kind of fights against the blow of the wind across the top of the cars, but also building up the momentum needed to drive to crush their hands. You see Butthole kind of pull the hammer out and rush forward with that, but you have 3 guys climbing up behind you, sort of clambering up. Unfortunately, they are coming up ladders, so they are less like stomp on their hands, but they're not quite up yet. They're like kind of reaching the top and starting to climb up. So you've got 3 very very vulnerable targets. What do you do?
I'll shoot at 2 of them.
Okay. So gun in each hand?
Yeah.
Say who gets hot shot and who gets frostbite. These are the important questions out there.
Well, how many ladders are there? I thought they were just coming up one.
There are 2. There's one guy's coming up underneath one of the other 2. So there are 2 available.
I'll go for the one that's got 2 and just take them all off the ladder, or attempt to.
Right.
Nice.
So this is with frostbite plus 5, 10 to hit.
10 will not hit, unfortunately.
This is hot shot. That's 12 to hit.
You're off by 1, bud. I'm sorry.
And I'll mark down the shots fired.
Yeah. So you open fire. Unfortunately, they're a little hardier than their compatriots and are kind of like, doing that like Bond villain climbing a car thing where they swing around the side and kind of dexterously get out of the way, which means all three of them will reach the top of the car. Meanwhile, next up, we have the guys on car 1. So 2 of the 5 make it to the top of the car. That said, Moss, you can still hit 3 potentially.
Okay.
But 2 are now up aboard. That'll take their whole round. Bring us to the guys at the back. They get up there and are ready to fight you there, Quinny. So we're gonna say one with a tomahawk, one with a revolver, and one with a rifle. So tomahawk coming in with a swing. That will hit. And
Tomahawk will always have lower AC to meet as well.
right. So you will take only 5 points of damage from that.
Okay.
Revolver. So it's kind of like the guy comes in, swings. You kind of take it. It kind of cuts across your arm as you duck to the side. The guy with the revolver kind of fires from the hip. He misses, so the shot goes wide. And the guy with the rifle is going to burn his action to move further down the car, so past you, to line up a shot on Moss and Butthole.
Okay.
But that will take the rest of his turn. So he's at the front of car 2 now. You're fighting these 2 guys at the back. Bringing us to Moss. There are two guys with rifles up on top of the car. There are still the three sets of fingies to crush. What do you do?
Fuck. Man, this sucks.
You're robbing a heavily armed train. This is
I
what
know. I guess, can I get to them?
the 2 guys with rifles?
Yeah. Are they like stable and like ready to shoot me?
Yes, because they took their turn to get up and get aiming.
Okay. Fuck. I think what I'm gonna have to do is like take one shot, and basically use my movement to kind of like swerve out of the way to make a more difficult target.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yep. So basically playing defensive rather than trying to crush.
Yeah, I don't want to get shot. Really?
Fair enough. Okay, so go ahead and roll your ranged attack, please.
Okay. That is an 18 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Yay! That's a little bit better. So it'll be 8 piercing damage.
8 piercing. Okay.
Yeah.
He is injured but still up. That said, I have to roll a save to see if he can keep his footing on top of the train. Ooh, he definitely does not. Rolled a 2. So he kind of staggers and then has that like Hans Gruber wide-eyed look as he loses his footing and falls from the train with a sickening crunch as the train continues to blast past. So one of them is down.
Okay.
And we'll say since you're using the momentum you were going to use as an attack action defensively, people have disadvantage to shoot at you.
Awesome.
Butthole. You see one of them fly off. Moss is kind of slaloming to avoid fire. The other rifle guy is like tracking her. Other dudes are about to climb up onto the top. What do you do?
Do I have range to charge the guy who's going to shoot Moss?
Yes, but I'll need a strength save. Actually, sorry, a con save. Because you're basically like running on top of a train. That's
Yeah, I don't know if I can make that. So instead, let's eliminate threats I know I can. Who's my closest spooky little bastard?
I will say though, Ryan, now that you have a hammer with which to spark it, you can toss blue flame.
Oh, yeah, I'm torching that motherfucker then. Yeah. This is the beauty of a world, which is he'll hold it up and just go, blue flame. It's classic. Huge fart. It's bigger than it's ever been, but it's same number of dice because we're in a world where he doesn't have all his powers. But still, he's just so pumped about it.
Does the motion of the train and the whipping winds on top of this thing have any effect on your farts? Or are they that powerful?
And they're that powerful because I mean,
Okay.
so much of it is magic, anyways, that it's not actually a slave to your petty mortal winds. This is the breath of a god.
Got it.
Soaring through.
Save mortal wind, by the way, for some kind of cool Moonhammer mood.
Yeah, seriously.
Mortal wind is pretty good.
All right, so that is 15 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit. Barely, but yes. That would have been awful. Blue flame, oh, damn.
That's
Catches it, yeah.
6 radiant damage.
All right, so 6 radiant damage, and then I got to roll to... Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I rolled a 5. So for a total of 8, this guy also loses his footing, coughing as the blue flame envelops him, and you just see a fireball of Moonhammer's will tumble from the side of the car, meaning there are just 3 guys climbing up now who will be up next turn.
Yeah, and I think movement-wise, he'll just keep on trucking forwards because he is doing very poorly in the not getting shot department.
Yeah, fair enough. Top of the round, Quinny. You've got the guy with the tomahawk. You've got the guy with the revolver kind of at close range. And then you've got the rifleman taking aim behind you. What do you do?
I think I'm going to holster Frostbite and with one hand sling Jim's shotgun off my shoulder and fire point blank at the tomahawk guy.
All right. I'll give you advantage because you're firing your shotgun. Like, this is the equivalent of just putting it against his chest and firing.
+4. 12 to hit, unfortunately. Rolled a 7 and then an 8,
So you jam the gun against him. He just brings the tomahawk across and just kind of knocks with the haft of the axe, knocks the gun away as the blunderbuss shot like blows a chunk off the top of the car.
Do I still have 2 attacks if I'm using another revolver?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll hot shot at his face after he's made that move to try and shoot him in the head.
Cool. What's your badass line?
Oh, well, does this work? Or am I about to say something cool and then miss again?
Possibly that, but I think Quinny would say it anyway. You're a notorious outlaw.
Welcome to what happens in real life. Say a cool line and hope.
I don't think he says anything. I think he just I don't know if I can do it on command, but just was like, hey, over here with the whistle. Like, you should have watched both hands.
Gotcha.
And the single digit rolls continue. So that's a 6. Hot shot's not going to be able to make up the difference. 6 + 5, 11 to hit.
So you fire point blank. It scores across his cheek, but yeah, he moves his head just enough to not take the bullet through the eye.
Oh, I need to mark down Jim.
And he just kind of nods at you and says, "Yes, watching your other head was sound advice. Thank you."
Why did I say anything?
Bringing us to the guys on car 1. So the 3 dudes clamber up. Since both of you were moving ahead, they are now behind you. And they are going to take shots. Let's see. So they're 1 on each of you, and then I'll roll for the... so 2 on Moss, 1 on Butthole. Moss, what's your AC?
14.
And they have disadvantage because she was slaloming, right? Or was that only for the guy from last turn?
That was technically going to be the guy from last turn, but that should apply here as well, which is good because I rolled a 20. So the first one will miss. The second one will not. So where's my other... Where are you at, Dice? Oh, there you go. So Moss, you're going to take 8 points of damage from the rifle, but the other guy misses. You get the sense it would have been a critical hit, but luckily you slalomed at the last minute and it instead pings off your maul. The other guy firing at you, Ryan, your AC is what?
17.
17. Okay. Unfortunately, he hits as well. But I rolled terribly, so you will only take 5 points of damage.
Alrighty.
Cool. That brings us to the guys fighting Quinny. Tomahawk guy is real tight with you, so he's going to try and attack. I'm going to give him disadvantage because you keep jamming guns at him, which is actually actively distracting. So that will cause him to miss because you can't block a gun with a tomahawk and then also get like a nice clean strike from it. So he misses with his. The guy with the revolver is going to take a shot, but he's at disadvantage because he's shooting into combat and his friend is there. He will miss. The guy with the rifle is going to try and shoot Butthole. He will miss by 1. So not a great round for those guys.
Tom, I hate being honest. When you say miss by 1, do you mean a 16?
No.
Okay, good. Then we're fine.
Because you've got your ranged is
17 is only a reaction, and I've already reacted, so my AC is actually 15.
Yeah, I rolled a 14.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I was confused for a second. I was like, oh no.
It's fine. It's
more?
fine. 15's fine. No, I wanted to check because I was like, it's less now.
Oh, no, that's very kind of you. No, I've been rolling very badly. Or very well, but with disadvantage, so it turns into very badly. Right. Okay, Moss.
Well, I didn't much like getting hit. Is there any way these guys are like in a line?
I mean, they were last turn when they were climbing up, but now they are 3 guys standing kind of staggered.
Damn it.
Like kind of in a reverse bowling pin thing. So you also can't like slam into one and hope to take all 3 out.
Yeah. Okay.
But you could try and swing your maul kind of at all 3. You'll just be
no, well, I'd like
desperately
to,
disadvantaged.
I mean, I'd like to try to ram one off the side.
Okay.
And while like swinging at another one with my maul.
Okay, the ram will be your attack action, so you can take a free action with just a punch,
with
like
just
an
my
arm
punch.
strike.
Yes,
we'll
yes,
say
yes.
it's with the maul because I think dramatically that makes more sense, but it will be with the
You're
stats
right.
of your punch. Yep.
My bad. Yes.
No, it's all good. Cool. So knowing that everyone's coming up behind and trusting that Butthole will uncouple the cars, you spin around and rather than driving towards the front, you start driving back towards Quinny and your attackers. So go ahead and roll your attack.
All right. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use luck and re-roll that, which I get to do once per day. I hope that wasn't a waste. That is 16 to hit.
That'll do.
Okay. So that's going to be 6 damage.
That's fine. This one wasn't really about the damage. It was about whether or not he can pass his check. I rolled a 2. So it's total 5. So just. So he goes under the tires. Gets, just completely obliterated. And then take your unarmed strike on the middle guy.
Dear. Oh, fuck. It's just 11. Oh, wait. I rolled with a D6. What the fuck am I doing?
Then the 11 is actually quite impressive.
It was a 6. 21.
Also rolled on a D6. You're that good. Yeah. All right. That definitely hits.
All right. So it's basically like just punch you. Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I get that. Go ahead.
Because I'm mad that I have to hurt these people.
Oh, Moss.
And that's where a lot of this is
Moss.
coming from. Because they forced my hand. Anyways.
Cool. Go ahead and roll your damage, please.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I still have to damage. That is an 8.
Very good. So you punch him. He staggers. We'll see if he keeps his footing. He does. But he is he's looking pretty rough. Cool. Top of the round, Quinny. Still got these 2 guys on you, rifle guy behind you.
Yeah, I've had enough. I'll holster hotshot and I'll throw the shotgun back over my shoulder and I'll just from the hip draw frostbite and fan the hammer.
Yeah,
so
baby.
5 shots on tomahawk guy right in front of me because I only fired 1 with frostbite. So
right.
Watch all these be like 5s and 6s again, but 7 plus 5 to 11, 12.
Plus 5
so
is 12. Yeah,
that's not going to do it.
Sadly, no.
There we go. Nat 20. Finally.
Hey.
So that's 2. 5 plus 5 ain't going to do it. 15. So that's a dirty 20, and the final shot 14 plus 5, 19. So 3 shots hit, one of them critical.
Great. If the crit drops him, you can move the next shot to the next guy.
Oh my god. Okay, so the crit would be
I've always been a fan of fanning the hammer being like the kind of Red Dead-esque, like, blam, but he's done. All right, now this guy. Like, if I need to spray him, I'll spray him.
So am I rolling double dice for crits?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me get another thing of D6s. Here we go. Frostbite. I've got that right here. That's going to be +3. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, +3, 16 damage.
You blow a hole straight through him. And as he falls backward off the train, he just goes, "Oh, keep an eye on that gun." And he falls off the back of the train.
My feet are planted, and I just like my waist just pivots to the next guy.
Do it up. Let's get that dead eye going.
Yeah, this one's 4 plus 3, 10. Well, I was also like 10 damage, 7 damage, and then the final, like the third successful hit. 2 plus 5, 7 plus 3, 10.
Great. That'll do it.
17 together on that guy.
Yeah, so you shoot him once in the gut and then once in the head, and he drops his pistol and falls off the back of the train. So the only guy left on your car is the rifle guy who shot a Butthole last round, who is behind you.
Okay. Reload. Okay.
Yep. Cool. And did you want to move at all?
I'll square up to this guy who's not paying attention to me.
Great. Bringing us to the guys on car 1. So the guy who just doubled over, he's going to come up and just try and rifle butt you, Moss, in an attempt to knock you off the train.
I can see him, right?
Yeah.
So I'll use a reaction to increase my AC to 16. Basically parrying with my maul.
16. He hits by 1.
Ah!
So that is going to be 4 points of damage. And I need you to please roll me let's go with a dex save.
Okay.
Or a con save. We'll take either one.
Let's do dex. 10.
10 is fine. You just had to match or beat 10. So he cranks you. The chair kind of goes up on one wheel for a second and then slams back down. Beautiful thing about having all terrain tires.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be that guy. And then the other guy is worried about you, so he's going to try and shoot you at point blank, which means he's at disadvantage, which won't matter. So he literally, as you come down, he just swings the rifle around and just fires kind of point blank into your chest. But I rolled badly, so you're going to take 4 points of damage. Okay, great. And then that brings us to back of the car. The one guy with the rifle is aiming at Butthole, rushing further and further away. But he gets the sense that you're the guy to stop. So he's going to attempt to take a shot.
Did he already shoot me?
This is from initiative 10. He's on car 2.
Yeah.
So yes, he did, but it's he will miss.
Yay!
Shot goes wide. Moss. Yeah, you guys are unfortunately at the bottom of the initiative order, so lots of things happen, and then you get to do stuff.
Yeah.
So you currently have the guy just rifle butted you, and the guy trying to shoot you point blank with the rifle. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to tire strike, rifle guy.
Okay.
Or point blank guy. Sorry, they both have rifles, right?
Understand? Yeah. The guy on the guy on your directly in front of you, but we'll say on your left, is the guy who's currently like trying to bludgeon you. The guy on the right is shooting you.
Yeah, I'm good. So I'm gonna try to tire strike at fucker who's has a gun in my face.
Understood.
And has already shot me once.
Yep.
So that is a nat 20.
Oh,
nice.
Baby.
So that's beautiful. So this is me like basically doing my flip to like one arm and like basically hitting him with my tire.
Crack him with the wheel. Go ahead and
Combat
roll.
wheelchair capoeira.
Yeah,
exactly.
pretty much. All right, so that is going to be 2d6. Oh man, shit rolls though. So that's 8 damage on that.
Okay. Roll to see if he stays on the train. He does not.
Yes.
You crack him with the tire. You hear his jaw kind of snap back. He stumbles and falls. This time he does not fall beneath the tires, but you do hear a crunch as he lands badly.
Then I'll take my unearned strike.
At the guy you already punched?
Of course.
Yeah. Keep those punches flying.
Oh, no, that didn't hit.
All right. You punch at him, and he manages to kind of like smack your fist away with the rifle. Bring us to Butthole. You are almost to the engine.
Okay, cool.
Can you roll me a perception check?
Sounds good.
Or an insight check. I'll let you roll insight because that's more your deal.
25.
You see a massive cloud of dust and dirt being kicked up in the distance, and sort of a large dark shape rapidly approaching.
In front or behind us?
Fucking
in front, like coming at an intercept angle.
Intercept angle towards us from in front. Okay, yeah. Can't help with this fight. Must reverse now. So he'll keep booking it towards the engine. When he looks down between like the car and the engine car, is there that little like alcove where you can?
You best believe there's a little alcove. Look, if this is a generic train you're imagining in your head, it's the train you're on. We've all got the same one.
Great. Then he's gonna jump down into that space. What does he see when he jumps down? Is there like a window into the engine side? Probably nothing. I have no idea. So you drop down to the little alcove. The engine room itself is secured by like one of those big like underwater submarine doors with like the giant like there's a different kind of submarine, but you know the ones I'm talking about with like the giant wheel. Just because it's a super armored vehicle, it would make sense that the actual engine room is blocked. Inside, you can see someone like very quickly like dumping coal into a furnace, and another guy like basically like standing there giving you the like I'm looking at you, bud, things with an axe. Okay. Well, he doesn't really have a smart way through this door. So I think what he's going to look at them and just say, "You believe gods aren't real, but have you seen the power of Moonhammer?" And he raises both hands and then he presses them against his obvious stomach injury from where he was shot a minute ago and just casts Cure Wounds in the hope it intimidates them because he's very injured. There we go, baby. So I heal the maximum amount I can.
Nice.
Which takes me to just injured. And then I look at him and I mime opening the door. And then I'm like,
Then he gives you the finger and then holds up his axe.
And then I mime taking out dynamite and lighting the end of it and it going and me leaving it here and then going, ha ha ha. And then an explosion.
Roll a persuasion check, please. Or intimidation. This is straight intimidation. What am I talking about? He excelled at Old West Mime School, so like he knows what's up.
I rolled an 11. I'm hoping he's a coward.
Given that the train was already rocked by like a massive explosion earlier, he kind of goes like does a very obvious like I am thinking, like tapping his forehead, thinking. Looks at the axe, looks at you, sees your wounds closing up, and just kind of takes out his wallet, like opens it and points at it, and kind of gives you like I don't think it's worth it, kind of thing, and starts cranking the door open.
I like this guy.
Top of the round, Quinny. You've got the rifle guy that you've just squared up with. He is looking away. He is aiming at Butthole. He is the most sneak attacky guy you can sneak attack. What do you do?
I'm going to shoot him in the back like a real hero.
What are you shooting him with?
Hot shot.
Great.
Frostbite is is out of ammo, so I need to reload
Gotcha.
that. So hot shot is what I'll fire at him. This is fucking unreal. So that's 7 and 5, 12. So
Sorry, bud.
7's a popular number on the D20.
You do get 2 attacks. That isn't just from having 2 pistols. I was upping your skills, so you can't take another shot if you'd feel so inclined.
Embarrassingly, I guess I like crack a shot off, and I watch it like he's still standing there, and I'm like looking around the train, like no one saw that,
like,
right?
Yeah, he does that like ear squeaky thing where he's like, "Oh, something in my ear."
Like look at my gun, look at him. I take like 5 steps closer, and like both hands.
Yeah, you
one eye's closed to like really square this shot up.
You've got like the wide stance.
I take the power
thing.
stance. Yeah.
This is the most Sam Rockwell Quinny has ever been.
Oh my god, I'm getting a stitch in my side.
Hopefully this guy will too. By stitch, I mean bullet.
Hey.
And by side, I mean back.
That's a 24 to hit.
Yay!
Off by 1, man. Yeah. All right. I think we can safely say you end this man.
I do have sneak attack as well, so I'm assuming 4d6.
You know what though?
Would
You've earned it. You've earned it. Go ahead and roll.
No, I'm saying like I agree. Like even with rolling dice, I think I would have gotten him.
I agree. Yeah. So you with a second shot, you just like shoot him in the back, and you just see him like grab his back and kind of turn around with like a "what the fuck, man." And then you just boot him off the side of the train.
Yeah. Can I pick up his rifle?
Sure. You grab the rifle and kick him. So now you've got the gun. It's a very like classic, like usually like a support James Bond character as James Bond's fighting people, just like kills their way up and has it. So yes, you now have the rifle. Okay. So that's all of those guys. So they're all toast. Moss, you've got the one guy remaining. He swings the rifle at you again.
Damn him. I'll try to parry again.
Yeah, I rolled a 10. I rolled a 7 and then I get +3. So he swings, and this time you just catch it with your troll hand and push it off. Damn, you're mad. Which brings us to you.
Well, I mean, I've just pushed him with that hand. So that hand's up. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to try to basically give like 2 like quick punches to the face.
Sure. Go ahead.
Basically, just 2 quick jabs.
Yeah, just 1-inch punch with a troll.
Yeah. Well, that first one
Bruce Lee always intended.
Yeah. Okay, the second one will hit, I'm sure. 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruce Lee, the original troll.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, yes. If you watch anything about him or his life, nah.
All right, and that will be 6 damage.
That is enough to put him up and over based on the damage you gave him earlier. So you 1-inch punch him with the troll arm.
Yeah.
And it's like when Hulk punches Thor in the first Avengers, just like, poof, and he just flies with, off the end of the train. You've successfully secured the train. Butthole, the conductors open it up, and the one guy says, "Honestly, I'm not getting paid enough for this shit. They won't let us unionize, so really, what's the point? On that note, good sir, the train is yours. I bid you adieu. Treat her well." And then he just like leaps off the side and rolls. And the guy shoveling coal is just like, "Fucking Jerry!" Throws down his shovel and he goes,
I want to grab him before he goes if I can. No, you're going to keep shoveling because I need this fucking thing to work.
"Oh shit, okay, I'm sorry."
Don't worry. We're going to let you go and you're not going to get hurt, but you keep shoveling coal because we got to back up. Otherwise, there's going to be a gunfight and there's explosives everywhere.
Okay, you want me to turn off the alarm, I assume?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Great. He turns it off and kind of looks out through the front of the train. He goes, "Oh, balls. Looks like we're a bit late on that." And Butthole, as you look up and over his shoulder, you see what is closing in on you. The speck has become larger, and you see a giant fucking mechanical spider tearing across the desert towards you, driven by Typhinneas Grayson himself.
And then all I do is reach forward and go, "Well, if you want to play, you dumb son of a bitch, welcome to the fucking desert." And I just want to crank it as fast as we can forwards. I'm just going maximum speed at the spider.
And with the proverbial pedal to the metal, you fire yourself forward like a bullet towards the spider.
And I go back to help the coal guy because we're going to need more coal.
This episode of Dum Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum Dums and Dragons logo is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum Dums and Dragons. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord Abradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Chet Awesome Laser, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Taryn Hefner, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.